Hi, Cherie. Hi.
Oh,
Hello. Hello.
hello.
Welcome. Good. I'm so glad you could join me. Great. Super. And we've got quite a few people coming, I think. Um, I'll just check Nick. Oh, hi. Hi, Nick. Come and join us. Can you switch your video on? Okay.
Excuse me. I can, but I'm eating.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to ask everybody to mute themselves in a moment. But you can see me. That's the important thing. And I think other people will join us soon. Okay. So, and Natasha is here. Natasha is my trusty assistant. She'll be helping me tonight in various ways. And so, yes, welcome. This is event one of the the Millionaire Mindset Breakthrough. And here's Anne joining us. Let's just wait for the room to fill. Good, good afternoon, good morning. It's difficult for me to greet you in the proper way because I'm in Japan. Hello, hello, Anne. Welcome,
Oh,
welcome.
nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I don't know whether it's good morning or good afternoon or good evening for you. It's good evening for me, but where are you, Anne? Are you in?
I'm in the UK in the
Oh,
East Midlands, so I'm right in the middle of the country, right in the middle of England.
oh, great. And it's lunchtime for you, I think, more or
It
less.
is,
Great.
yes, yes.
Super. Thank you.
Hmm.
So we've got Sherry, and she's in Australia, in Adelaide. We've got Natasha, who's in Nigeria and is my trusty assistant. And we've got Nick. Nick, where are you? Can you tell us where you are in the world?
I don't think I'm that far away from Anne, in that I'm in Derbyshire, so I live in the Peak District National Park.
Oh,
Um,
great.
so unusually, we've got a sunny day here, which is most uncharacteristic. It's normally grey.
Oh, I
So
see.
whereabouts in Japan are you?
Right in the center, really. I'm in Tokyo, well, out west of Tokyo. Yeah.
Ah, right. A very good friend of mine, a famous mountaineer, is in Tokyo. You almost certainly will have bumped into him.
Oh, I'm sure, yes. What's his name?
Graham Hoyland.
Oh, yeah, now that does sound familiar. Why does that sound familiar?
So
Yes.
he's a filmmaker, a TV
Right.
producer.
Yes.
He's an author, and he's related to a gentleman called Howard Somervell, who lent his camera to George Mallory in their attempt for the summit of Everest. And so Graham
Right.
frequents Everest to try and find artifacts and evidence of potential success of that summit attempt.
I see. Yes, I have heard of him. Yes, and it's an amazing place. I've been kind of halfway up Everest myself.
Oh,
I've been done quite a lot of trekking in Nepal when I was a bit younger. So it is a magical place. Wonderful. Oh,
splendid. Yeah, yeah.
great. Great to have you here. And
Thank you.
in a moment we'll get started. But before we do, have we got somebody else here while the room fills up? Today's topic is limiting beliefs. Yeah. Many of us have limiting beliefs, they're blocks. And you may well have turned up tonight to learn more about that. In a moment, I'm going to give you a presentation, a short presentation, and then we're going to have some discussion. So, welcome, Manjula. Let me welcome you. Thank you so much for coming. I was
Thank you.
looking forward to meeting you. Can you show your video? Are you
I
in a?
can.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
just looking a little bit of a
okay,
mess. Can you
great.
see me now?
Yes, nice to see you.
Yeah. I've just come back from the doctors and I'm not
Oh,
ready for a
oh,
full-on visual meeting. Can you see me?
oh. All right. That's fine. Yeah,
I
close your
can't see
video.
myself.
Yeah, sure. Just
Okay.
listen, and I'm sure you'll get the gist of everything. But maybe when we start discussing, you can put your videos on, and we can really have a nice discussion. Okay.
Sure.
Yes. Any questions? Anybody have a question? Okay, good. Let's get started. So, what I'd like you to do before we really get into the presentation is I'd like you to think of one limiting belief that you have. One limiting belief. Dawn, hello, welcome. Thank you so much.
Hello, how are you?
Hi there, welcome so much for coming. Very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You've given me a nice lunch break and
Oh,
break for editing, so thank
oh,
you very much.
my pleasure. Great to have you here. Yeah. We'll get started in a moment and I'll tell you what this is all about. But yes, just before you appeared, I've asked everybody else to think of one limiting belief,
Okay.
one limiting belief, and write it down if you can, if you've got a pen handy, on a piece of paper, a small piece of paper. Just write down
Un momento.
your limiting belief. Yes, take your time. It's okay. This is important that we identify it. Now, it could be a fear. It might be something from the past that's happened. Very often, limiting beliefs are about the past. It could be something that you've inherited from your family or something your partner experiences. And so writing it down will help you to just focus. And then later, I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So just leave it written there on your piece of paper. Oh, I've got two of me there for some reason. And we'll come back to that in a moment. But yes, just think about that limiting belief. And also just think about what it makes you feel. Most limiting beliefs are accompanied by nasty feelings or fearful moments or some kind of frisson, something that makes you kind of paralyzed. Or it may be something that just makes you very sad or very thoughtful. There are a whole range of emotions that these limiting beliefs can accompany. So thank you. Just keep that kind of in your mind. And I'm going to now share my screen with you and introduce myself properly, if I can. Yes, I think I can. Here we are. I'm going to just give you a short presentation, which will hopefully just let you know who I am, what I'm doing. And if you have any questions while I'm speaking, I'll speak for about 15 minutes. Just save them up until the end, and then we'll have a really frank discussion. Okay, so let me go ahead and introduce this event. Okay, so as you know, it's called Breaking Free from Limiting Beliefs. It's the first event of a 13 event series, and I'm Lyndon Thorpe. You may know me from LinkedIn, you may know me from other places, but basically, I'm a mentor, I'm an author, and I'm a mindful, not a mundful, I'm a mindful educator. Okay, that's me. And really, my story is, in brief, is amazing because 2 years ago I retired officially from public life as an educator, which I've been all of my life, and fell into a large heap. I was exhausted. I had burnout. I spent 6 months wandering around like a zombie, not sleeping, not eating, not doing very much. It was such a shock to retire. And I couldn't really believe that I was retired, that I was free now for the rest of my life. Okay. So what happened was after I'd recovered, I started to think, well, what can I do now? What should I do? Of course, writing is always there. Dawn knows about this because she's a writer. I've always got loads of books I want to write. Well, that's great, but I can do that anytime. But I wanted really some kind of mission that would allow me to contribute something to the global community. So I started thinking, and of course, education has always been very close to my heart. I spent the last 20 years in Japan teaching university students, teaching basic communication, along with many other things, which I'll talk about another time. But yes, of course, I had all sorts of ideas about education. But then I thought, but yeah, I'm only a pensioner now. And as we all know, pensions do not match inflation. So I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to have a very glorious time on this pension. It's not a bad pension, but it's not wonderful. So yeah, okay, whatever I want to do, I need some money, big money. So I thought, yeah, why not? I'm going to become a millionaire. I want to become a millionaire. And you may think that's a bit strange, but if you've been a teacher all your life, you wouldn't, because teachers earn a pittance. I don't know if anybody's a teacher. Anna, you a teacher? No, no, no. Well,
I spent 11 years as a teacher
oh, you did.
before
Great.
I broke free and set up business on my own, but I still identify because I'm still teaching in a way, and it's hard.
Right, yes, isn't it? Yeah. Well, yes, I didn't break free until 2 years ago, and yeah, we do 3 times as much work as we're paid for. I particularly was so into empowering my students. I neglected myself totally, almost totally. And so I decided, yeah, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to make something wonderful in the world. So I went onto the internet, and in the Google search bar, I typed millionaire mentor. It just came to me. I just typed it. And the first response I got was from someone called Michael Cheney. You might have heard of him. He's quite famous. He's a multimillionaire, and he's made his millions from the internet. And he's a pioneer, a real pioneer, as well as a master marketer. Yeah. So I saw him on the internet. I listened to him talk. I watched as many videos as I could of him. I researched him, and I thought, yeah, this is it. And it was the first search item on the on Google. So I thought, yeah, okay, this is going to be fine for me. I'm going to pursue it. Sorry. So I hooked up with him and became his apprentice pretty quickly. Okay, more of that later. Let me just talk a little bit further about what I do. Basically, I bring spiritual and practical tools together to help you break free from limitations. As I mentioned before, I'm a mindful educator. I'm also a Buddhist priest. I've been a Buddhist all my life. And when I came to Japan, I ordained and became a priest. And so I'm a Dharma teacher, and I teach meditation and so on. So I'm a very spiritual bod. I'm bringing tried and tested business strategies. For 10 years, I taught advanced business studies in Japan, but I had never been in business myself. Then I went into business. Okay. I'm bringing marketing excellence from my mentor, Michael Cheney, I've been with him for a year now, and I would say I'm a pretty good marketer. I'm also a digital literacy specialist and a careers advisor. So I've got many, many strings to my bow. And I'm bringing those all together to help you to harness the power of your mind. Okay. So basically, let me just give you an overview of these events. Okay. There are 13 of them, and we can see before you do them, you're maybe, not sure what you're doing is what you would want to do. You maybe are in a difficult position. Maybe you don't have enough money. Maybe you have children and you're divorced. I know many women who have got themselves into this position, and men, by the way, Nick, where they depended on a partner and then the partner left and they're in a financial mess. So basically, I've devised these events on a kind of sidestepping schedule here to move you to your millionaire blueprint. Now, this means you've got to develop a very special kind of mindset. You've got to do all sorts of spiritual things as well. Maybe you think millionaires drive Lamborghinis and have villas in France and so on. But in fact, many do not. Many are very spiritual. And Michael Chaney, I knew when I first heard him speak, is extremely spiritual. He's had lots of spiritual practice. He meditates, and we speak the same language, really. So there are many things that I'm bringing to these events, and I hope you'll be able to attend as many as possible, that when worked through regularly, will give you a blueprint to become a millionaire. And then I'll give you a very special invitation to join our amazing community. So you can see we've got things like gratitude, your uniqueness, mindfulness, of course, passion, building an empire, your value, the work ethic of millionaires, building a network, building resilience. That's one of the most important things you need when you're building wealth or attracting wealth. Your health, of course, and abundance, the idea of abundance. And then finally, we put this all together and we've got a wonderful blueprint. So eventually, hopefully, you're going to be dazzlingly successful. Well, you will be dazzlingly successful because I'll be mentoring you. So let's go now to the topic. That's a little bit about me and this event series. Let's just think about why beliefs hold us back. Okay, why do they stop us from doing what we want to do? Okay, there are many reasons. Well, yeah, people think this is some kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. No, I can never be a millionaire. I could never possibly get that amount of money. I could never move into that sphere. So I'm stuck in this cycle of poverty and 9-to-5 grind and so on. So we are conditioned, maybe we could say, by our culture, by our background, and by our own mind often to make this a reality. No, I couldn't possibly do this. Okay. That's one type of belief. We've got lots. This kind of things influences our decisions and our actions. Sorry, I've got another spelling mistake there. The perception of reality is shaped by our culture. We have limited creativity and possibilities. Often, maybe we. Just 1 minute, we've got a little glitch there. We reinforce past experiences, as I mentioned before. We prevent resilience. We erode our confidence. And we've often learned these beliefs from others. And they're often subconscious. And they're rooted in fear quite often. Okay, so there are many reasons for these limiting beliefs. But because of my training now and my mindset work, and I've been working with mindsets for maybe 30 years, changing students' mindsets, because most students, especially in Japan, think, oh no, I can't do this, I can't learn this, it's too difficult, and they withdraw. So we have to, really encourage their mindset. So I've devised a plan where we can work through these events and we can start off here and we can become more and more resilient, more and more sort of wide and tall and beautiful. And there are 4 steps that I've evolved to do this. First is most important is awareness. And if you are truly aware, then your limiting beliefs are identifiable. Now, you may think you're aware, but it's amazing how unaware we are until we start to meditate or have mindful periods and so on. Then we see that there's a lot we could do to become more aware. The second step is reflection. Okay, so first of all, you become highly aware, your awareness is heightened, then you reflect on what you've discovered through that awareness. The third step is reframing. So then I've got a quite unique process to help you to reframe based on steps 1 and 2. And then finally, visualization. Now, maybe you've done some visualization, but it's a real art, and I teach it so that what you visualize becomes your reality. And again, there are many strategies and techniques that I will hand over to you to be able to do that. So those 4 steps are quite important. And don't worry, I've prepared a document with this information in, which I'm going to give to you at the end. So don't worry too much about taking notes. Okay, now in this PDF, which we will give to you as our gift for coming to this wonderful event, I've also included lots of spiritual strategies to transform those beliefs. And I'm not going to divulge those now. Of course, they are complex. They need practice. They need a guide. And so you'll be able to read more about those in the PDF that I'm going to we will hand to you. Natasha will put that in the chat soon. And we will also send it to you by email with the replay of today, if you wish it. So the spiritual strategies, I'd like to allow you to read about those before you come back and we start to do a little work on them. Okay? So, how do you reframe limiting beliefs? Well, again, I've got this down to a fine art, and I'm just going to give you a little hint of that now. First of all, as I mentioned before, you have to identify that belief. Then you have to challenge it. And then you reframe it. So it's the identification part that's the most difficult. It's probably your limiting beliefs are unconscious. They've probably been there all your life. They probably are modeled on your parents or other people in your life. You probably don't even know you've got them. And what do I mean by this? Well, for example, this may well be one limiting belief. Okay, oh, I can't succeed without a stable 9-to-5 job. If we challenge it, we can start to look at the evidence. Is there evidence to support this? Is it true? And then we can reframe it. I can create stability through my unique skills and perspectives, as Anne Leatherhead knows. She's done this. And Dawn, I think you've probably done a lot of this, and I look forward to hearing from you both in a moment about that. Okay, so those 3 steps are important. Identify this limiting belief, challenge it, and then reframe it. And I can give you the tools to help you to reframe it. So in a moment, I'm going to stop and ask you to talk to me about your limiting belief, the one you wrote down. And maybe Manjula, you weren't here right at the beginning. If you could think of one limiting belief that you have and just write it down on a piece of paper, then when we come to discuss, you will have a belief to discuss. Okay. Another inhibiting thing about beliefs is you may not want to admit it, or you may not want to talk about it. Well, I respect that, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so let me just move on. So these two questions are: what is one limiting belief you've struggled with? Okay, and how has it held you back, would you say? Okay, but just put those two questions into your mind. I'll move on a little bit and talk about, I provide free audits to get you started. Okay. I do a strategy audit and I do a millionaire skills audit. Now, these are very specific skills that will move you on the path to millionairedom. And they're free. And it's a real opportunity for me to see what you've got so far, see what skills you've got, what strategies you have so far, and then I can recommend how to proceed. Okay, and to do that, I've got lots of training I've developed. One thing you'll get as a matter of course is the Escape the 9 to 5 Grind startup guide and a resource catalogue. This contains everything about these events. I'll show you this in a moment. I've got an abundance workbook. I've got Master Your Financial Future, which is about the community I'm involved in, a millionaires community, and how it all works. I've also developed an e-template to make mindful goals using mindfulness and meditation, and a QR code to download it. And I also run 2 other live sessions on LinkedIn. This is for women millionaires, and we have conversations about the pathway we're on. And then every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I run a mindfulness session. And in fact, I've just done one tonight. They start at 12:30 GMT, and they last 20 minutes. And you can really experience deep mindfulness in that time. So these are resources that I've developed to help us on our path. So that's really the end of my short presentation. I'm going to come back to you now. Thank you so much for listening to that. Well, straight out of the gate, have you got any questions about what I've told you so far? No. Okay, great. You'll get a chance to talk to each other in a moment. So, yeah, we have just a 10-minute break for you to talk to one other person. So I'm going to put you, if I may, I'm going to put you into a breakout room. If I can find where is the tab? Oh, here we are. Yes, here we are. I'm going to pair you up in 2s, if that's okay. So I'm going to have 3 breakout rooms, and I'd like you just to talk to each other for a little while. I won't come and visit you, okay? And we'll have 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll have a discussion, okay? So just give you time to digest what I've taught you or told you, and to also think about your limiting belief and how it's held you back and what you want to do about it. Okay, so enjoy. Just speak to each other for 10 minutes. See you soon.